Emma, it's been a while. Hey, are you there? This is my new phone number, so you haven't blocked me, right?
Who is this?
Oh, come on, it's Randy, you know, your future boyfriend.
Randy, I've rejected your confession more times than I can count. And seriously, we haven't seen each other since college. How do you even have the nerve to say something like that?
Emma, I've kept you waiting long enough. Let's get married.
What?
I mean it. Recently, I've finally started earning a decent income.
Oh, so you're no longer living the neat lifestyle?
Exactly. I worked hard, Emma. And now with my newfound success, you can finally live your dream as a carefree, stay-at-home wife.
Well, I'll admit it's a step forward that you're working now. But you know, I'm already engaged to someone else.
Wait, what? Are you serious?
Yeah, that's how it is. Sorry.
Hold on. What's his salary?
What?
And does he plan to make you keep working after you're married? If his income is lower than mine and he can't afford to let you be a stay-at-home wife, maybe you should reconsider and marry me instead.
Yeah, no. I'm not about to share his income details. That's personal. But just so you know, I plan to keep working after marriage, and it's my decision.
Wait, what? That's terrible!
Why do you think that?
Come on, Emma. You say it's your decision, but isn't it really because your fiancé doesn't earn enough to let you quit? Let's be honest, he's probably broke, isn't he? And you're too embarrassed to admit it.
I'm not embarrassed. In fact, his income isn't something I'm ashamed of at all. And like I said, I want to work because I enjoy my career. My fiancé respects that.
You don't have to pretend.
Randy, seriously.
Yeah?
If you're going to bring up this ridiculous comparison between you and my fiancé, shouldn't you at least reveal your own salary? I can't even make a judgment without that information.
Oh, yeah, good point.
Though I'll tell you right now, it's not going to change my mind, just to be clear.
No way, you'll definitely change your mind. Okay, fine, I'll tell you. But keep in mind, I only started working 3 months ago after leaving the neat life. So here it is, my monthly salary. Are you ready? Drum roll, please.
I could do without the theatrics.
No fun. Okay, here goes. My monthly salary is a whopping $1,200. What? Impressive, right? With this, you can finally live a luxurious life as a stay-at-home wife.
1,200?
Yup.
You're serious?
Of course.
So you're actually serious?
What's the matter? Are you stunned by how amazing I am?
I mean, I'm stunned, but for different reasons.
I knew it. I'm that good, huh?
No, it's just... that's really low.
Huh?
Look, I'm not trying to insult you. It's great that you've finally become independent and stopped relying on your parents. That's an important step, but...
But what? What's the problem?
It's not a problem, per se. It's just painfully obvious that you have no idea what average incomes or living expenses look like in the real world.
Oh, come on. My dad told me his first paycheck was around the same amount.
Yeah, but wasn't that, like, 30 years ago? Do you have any idea how much the cost of living has risen since then? And let me ask you this, can you even live on $1,200 a month?
Of course, I budget carefully and I manage to spend just about all of it every month.
So, you're saying you have no room to save any money?
Savings? Not exactly, no.
If your hypothetical wife became a stay-at-home partner, you'd be covering expenses for 2 people with that $1,200. On top of that, you'd need to save a significant amount each month for the future. It's pretty clear that $1,200 wouldn't cut it.
The future? Like when we have kids?
Exactly. Think about it. More groceries, higher utility bills, and education costs. Your salary doesn't support the kind of lifestyle you're imagining.
So it all comes down to money, huh?
Money isn't everything, but it's a pretty big part of being able to live comfortably. Marriage isn't just a fantasy, it's a practical commitment.
All right, fine. What about you and your fiancé then? Are you making enough to talk down to me like this?
Yes, for one thing, I'm earning more than you, and my fiancé earns more than I do.
What?
His income alone could support us, but these days you never know what might happen. That's why we've agreed to keep working together to build a stable future. Besides, I love my job, so I have no intention of quitting.
So, you don't even want to be a stay-at-home wife?
Not really, no.
Oh, well that changes everything. I guess I don't need to work hard anymore.
Wait, what?
Here's an idea. You keep working and I'll be the stay-at-home spouse.
Excuse me?
If you're earning enough for both of us, there's no point in me working, right?
Are you serious right now?
Absolutely. I'll quit my part-time job and focus on supporting you at home.
Wait, part-time job? You're not even a full-time employee? And you're proposing to me with that? Hold on, Randy, hello? Are you even listening? Don't just leave me on red. Randy, did you just put down your phone and stop talking to me? How did it come to this? Didn't you read the message from earlier?
Emma, I just quit my part-time job. I got notifications multiple times after that, but are you really that happy about marrying me? I don't need to read it. I already know what's in your heart. I already know.
Read it carefully.
Okay, fine. I get it. Hey, seriously?
That's what it is.
That's just cruel! You went on and on about how happy you were when we got engaged!
No. I was just giving an example that if your monthly salary is $1,200, having your wife stay at home as a full-time housewife is unrealistic. You're so dependent on your family's financial support, and you think it'll just magically work out?
But with your earnings, we could make it work!
Well, I've already turned down your proposal.
If there's love, money doesn't matter, right?
No, that's not the case. That love you're talking about, it was never there between us to begin with.
What are you saying? No way! That's impossible!
I've said it before and I'll say it again. There was never any real love between us. I might have liked you, but it wasn't love in the way you're imagining. It's not that I didn't care about you, but it was never the deep, meaningful connection that you're looking for.
You're so persistent! I turned down your proposal, so why can't you understand that? Why do you keep trying to convince me otherwise?
Also, my fiancé wants to tell you something.
Wait, he's here?
Don't mess with my precious woman, you jerk.
What? My brother?
Yeah. My fiancé is your younger brother, Frank. Your family, who's all about the firstborn, treated him terribly because he was the second son. They kicked him out of the house when he finished middle school. That Frank.
You're lying! That Frank who only graduated middle school is making more than me? No way!
He's not a high school dropout anymore.
Huh?
He worked while attending a night school, and with the money he earned, he finished college. Now he's working at a big company with a position of responsibility.
No way!
It's completely true. While you were living off your parents, doing nothing, Frank worked hard and kept moving forward with his own strength, and that's how he is today. I admire Frank's attitude, and I've decided to support him for the rest of my life.
Wait! You're being deceived. There's no way! That piece of trash, Frank, is not good enough to be your husband. I, the firstborn, am clearly better than some useless second son. Don't you agree?
You still don't get it, do you? Frank doesn't have the luxury of relying on other people to support him. He's the one who made his own future, and you're the one who's still stuck in the past. You still believe in some outdated idea of what it means to be a man, when the firstborn should always be in charge and the second son should just follow. That's not how life works anymore. I know that people like you with such outdated ways of thinking are completely incompatible with me, so goodbye.
No! You can't just walk away from me! I'll make you regret this. You'll see.
I don't think so. I've made up my mind, and there's nothing you can say or do to change that. I'm done with all the baggage you carry around. I'll be happy with Frank, and I don't care what you think about it. Your opinions don't matter to me anymore.
Wait! I will never accept this. Never!
You're the one that won't accept things. Frank and I have built something solid together, while you've just been coasting along with no plan. You had your chance, and you wasted it. I'm sorry, but I'm moving forward with my life.
You've got to be kidding me! This is ridiculous!
No, this is reality. You can keep living in your fantasy world, but Frank and I are out here living our real lives. And that's the difference, isn't it?
But Frank is just... He's nothing! You're throwing away your future with someone like him!
I don't think you understand what you're saying. Frank is a hard-working, independent man. He didn't rely on anyone, not even his own parents, to get where he is today. That's something you could never do. You're just too comfortable in your own little bubble to see the truth.
I'll show you! You'll regret this, I swear!
No, I don't think I will. I don't regret a single thing. I'm happy with Frank, and I am proud of him. We're going to make it, and nothing you say is going to change that.
Wait! You're making a huge mistake!
I'm not making any mistakes. You're the one who's been stuck in the past, clinging to outdated beliefs and thinking you can control everything. Well, I'm done with it. Frank and I are moving on, and you can't stop us.
You can't just forget about everything we had! What we had meant something, didn't it? You're throwing it all away for someone you barely know!
What we had? That wasn't love. It was just a series of expectations that I never asked for. You expected me to be someone I'm not, and now you expect me to stay in something that doesn't make sense anymore? But you don't understand. You never did.
You're wrong. You're wrong about all of this. You'll realize one day that you made a mistake.
Maybe. But I'll be fine, and Frank and I will be happy. It's time for me to live my own life, free from all the burdens you've put on me.
You're so cold. This isn't how it's supposed to be. You're supposed to stay with me.
It was never supposed to be like this. You created a fantasy world where everything worked out according to your plan, but it never did. Now you have to face the consequences of your own decisions.
I can't believe this. You've really made your decision, haven't you?
Yes, I've made my decision, and I'm not going back. You can't change it. No one can. Randy's part-time job seemed to have been something that his parents, concerned about their own future and income, had arranged for him. They wanted him to work for a company owned by an acquaintance with the idea that one day he could transition to a full-time permanent position. This plan was meant to provide some financial security for his future and, in their eyes, ensure that he would be able to support himself as he grew older. They were looking to safeguard both their own old age and his, hoping his job would give him a stable income stream that would eventually allow him to live independently without needing to rely on them for support as they got older. However, Randy did not share his parents' vision. Despite the opportunity, Randy decided, quite abruptly, to quit the job he had been doing. It wasn't just that he left the job. He didn't even give much thought to the consequences of his actions. He quit without consulting anyone, and within no time, he was back to his old habits, unemployed and living off of his parents, essentially reverting to a state of dependency. The plan that his parents had carefully laid out for him was in tatters. Their hopes for his future, which had seemed so promising when he started the job, were dashed in an instant. Randy's decision to quit and return to his previous lifestyle meant that their concerns about his well-being had only grown stronger. At the same time, the situation with Randy forced his parents to take a closer look at Frank, Randy's younger brother, and his life choices. They had heard about Frank's current situation and felt a sense of urgency. Frank had managed to build a life for himself, having overcome the challenges of growing up in a family where he had often been neglected, especially compared to Randy. He had worked hard, developed independence, and successfully made a name for himself without relying on their help. This was something Randy had never been able to do, and their frustration with him grew as they saw Frank's achievements. Seeing how Frank had turned his life around, they turned their attention to him in the hope that he might be the one to help them in their later years. Believing that Frank would be the one to take care of them when they needed it most, Randy's parents showed up at Frank's apartment unannounced. They had not informed Frank of their plans, and their sudden visit seemed to be an attempt to pressure him into offering them the help they desperately needed. However, Frank was one step ahead. A few years earlier, he had made the decision to leave that apartment behind, cutting ties with the people who had not supported him through his struggles. In a deliberate move, Frank had withheld his current address from his parents, so when they arrived at the apartment, it was no longer his home. This turned out to be a fortunate decision for Frank. His parents had no idea where he lived now, and their attempts to track him down proved fruitless. The only means by which they could have contacted Frank was through his cell phone number, but even that had been changed. Frank had severed all forms of communication with his parents, choosing to move forward with his life without them in it. The decision to change his phone number was the final step in completely cutting ties. Frank knew that by doing this, he could move on without the burden of his parents' expectations and demands. It was his way of ensuring that he would not fall into the same pattern of dependency and disappointment that had plagued his relationship with Randy. After making a clean break from his past, Frank eventually settled down, got married, and took on a new surname, mine. This was a significant change for him, as it symbolized not only his new life, but the fresh start that he had been longing for. As he embraced this new chapter in his life, he also moved in with my parents, with whom he now shares a home. The relationship he shares with my father in particular is something truly special. My father and Frank bonded over shared hobbies, and their connection grew stronger with each passing day. It wasn't just about being in the same household, it was about genuinely enjoying each other's company and sharing common interests. They would often spend hours together discussing everything from books to films to music, and their conversations were filled with laughter and excitement. It was clear that Frank had finally found a place where he could thrive both personally and emotionally. My father, who had always been a strong support for me, was now giving Frank the same sense of encouragement and care that he had given me throughout my life. Frank, who had once felt neglected and alone, now had a family that truly understood him and welcomed him with open arms. It was a far cry from the situation he had experienced with his own parents, who had only ever seen him as a means to their own end, someone who could eventually care for them when they no longer were able to manage on their own. In many ways, Frank's life had come full circle. What had once been a story of hardship and neglect was now one of growth and happiness. He had gone from being the overlooked and underappreciated younger brother to being someone who was not only independent, but also a beloved member of a family that cherished him. The contrast between him and Randy could not have been more apparent, and Frank's success in creating a fulfilling life for himself served as a silent reminder to Randy of what could have been. It was a stark reflection of how their paths had diverged. Randy still clinging to his past mistakes and dependence on his parents, and Frank, who had moved on to a brighter future with a supportive family by his side. And as Frank continues to live with my parents, I see him grow even more. It's a life I'm proud to be a part of, watching as he builds a future not just for himself, but as someone who has found a true sense of belonging and peace. The transformation from the lonely, abandoned brother to the happy, engaged man he is today is something I will always hold dear. And I feel fortunate that he's now part of my family. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.